So today I'll be talking about the worst miraculous episodes in my opinion. It's about to get controversial. Ooh, the Mary chat stands will not be happy with this one. I'm prepared to get whacked though, don't worry. This is in no particular order, by the way. Let's start with stormy weather 2. I understand the writers felt lazy and maybe the need to make a shitty filler recap flashback episode like a lot of shows do. I get it, maybe they were on vacation but still wanted to write something so they came up with this. But no excuses for this one. Chillin'. This could have been such a good opportunity to teach the kids about racism and depression in daily life, but of course they ruined it by never addressing the elephant in the room that is racism against East Asians, and resolved the whole thing by blaming Marinette for taking her mom's wallet so Sabine couldn't pay for anything. Sure. Blame the little kid with no job for going to get her mom a gift instead of the ill-intentioned bigoted freak. As if it wasn't already bad enough that they never addressed the blatant racism. I can't believe this episode exists for real. Also, the animation is some of the worst we've ever seen in this show. Like, you can tell they didn't give a fuck about making this a good episode with a good message, and it's sad. This episode sucks in every department, not sorry. But then again, this was made by the same people who are openly supporting Israel as we speak, so I'm not surprised the racism episode was so half-assed. Damn, and y'all still had hope they wanted to pass a good wholesome message about moving on in recreation? Now don't act stupid. Revolution. I could actually put the episode before this one in this video too, just because it makes me so mad with how bad the writing is. Genuinely, what even is going on here? But the real enemy is, whatever this episode is. I refuse to believe this actually happened canonically. Like, what kind of dystopian world did Miraculous turn into out of nowhere? This is the shit I imagine happens in the shady Bug and Claw Noir universe, not here. I don't think Miraculous can get any more politically incorrect than this. Mayor resigns from his position and his 14-year-old daughter is the new self-proclaimed mayor queen? And they just let her? This is brain rot for the kids, like skibbity toilet type of brain rot. It's a fever dream from start to finish, and I'm so mad that they spent like a solid 3 episodes at the end of the damn season dealing with Chloe, making her as bad as they can possibly make her instead of focusing on the shit we wanted them to. Like, episodes 22 to 23 could have been about the Senti cousins and the Agresti plot in general, with a side of a greater plan, like planting the seeds of that. Derision was enough demonizing Chloe, we did not need 2 more derisions. Also hate the way they resolved this shit. Out of nowhere, these 2 are mature enough to have their adult powers. I'd buy it if it wasn't in this episode. Because it was the only way they could get away from the situation without their identities being revealed. And we're supposed to praise Andre the corrupt cunt for dragging Chloe away just now when he's the entire reason she turned out like this? Don't piss me off. Where the hell was he this entire time? His ass resigned 1 episode ago and dipped. Can someone explain why the hell he wasn't dragging her back to her room before all of this happened? Ephemeral. I hate everything about this episode. The dumb writing, the formula, the solution, all of it. I've made a video on why this episode sucks, go check that out if you want a full analysis on why it's dog shit. I don't want to waste any more breaths on this. Evolution. Flop ass episode. More inconsistent time travel and terrible writing decisions that make me want to pull my hair out. I watched this for the first time in a year just because I hated it so much a few days ago since the official Miraculous channel posted it. I know they couldn't just win in the first episode of season 5, but don't set them up for that if they're not gonna win by making them act stupid. Everyone in this episode is stupid. Like, Gabriel didn't drop the damn flash drive for what? I still don't get it to this day. Because the season would end right there, yeah. Be so for real. These 2 are actually incompetent as hell in the worst possible moments for no reason. Both here, in Destruction and in Ephemeral, the same damn thing happens and they fail. They have the old hag passed out and can end his ass by taking the Miraculouses off him in a matter of seconds. Instead they just stand there and stare at him. And y'all call yourselves heroes? Go to hell. Either take his miraculous while he's knocked out and win, or give up your miraculous. Oh wait. Kwame's choice. Transmission. Notice how many of these are from season 5. Help. Oh, it was bad for us. Anyways, after the failed attempt at a flip love square, they decided that was enough and gave the Ladybug and Cat Miraculous to Alia and this blonde girl. Apparently Marinette had seen Miss Blonde Girl with the Cat Miraculous before this in the Paris special that happened after Destruction. Almost 10 episodes ago? And had no reaction to seeing her in her own universe? Okay. I don't really care, to be honest, just thought it was weird and wanted to mention it. I guess not that weird since the Paris special was an afterthought, ijbol. Or maybe Marinette just didn't care about Blonde Cat Girl enough to say anything. Out of all the people you could have chosen for the Cat Miraculous, you choose the most irrelevant? Girl, don't play with me. We could have had Nino. The reasoning for not choosing Nino is shit, don't even get me started. We could have had Julika. We could have had Kagami. Shit, even the teacher. Literally anyone. Also, her costume makes my eyes hurt, I wish I was lying. Like, we don't even know Miss Barbie like that for her to get such a crazy important miraculous. What were they thinking? Like, I was watching this with a blank face the whole time. I felt nothing watching these 2 fight with their plot armor ass solution. Also, irrelevant supervillain and irrelevant motivation. I don't even remember what their deal was. And when did Marinette have time to record that pick me girl ass voicemail? She's just goofy like that. Like, nobody taking you seriously with that voicemail. It's giving Marinette from my old cringe fanfiction. Last thing, why the hell would you fight with these damn rings on when you know they track your steps and movements? Dumb as hell. Kwame's choice. Deflagration. Gabriel's song and dance number made me gag, and not in a good way. I'd rather watch fart sounds for 10 hours on loop than whatever that was. What's that? That's the sound of the police. Creepy bastard Gabriel went in the little girl's restroom like what if Alia wanted to piss before the Akuma attack? Creepy bastard leave these little kids alone OMG. And y'all wanna call him redeemable? Jump off a cliff for me. The Adrinet development is, meh. Also how the hell did these two not ask each other how they just so happened to give up their miraculous at the same time? And they never even said goodbye to each other? Like what did Marinette think happened to Chat Noir for another holder to show up and vice versa? Makes no sense to me. And don't get me started on the way they resolved this. Gabby being this close to winning but failing because of fucking sauces? This is like their way of reminding you what age their target audience is. Psycho supervillain loses because a bunch of kids squirted mustard and ketchup on him, only in Miraculous. Mr. Pigeon 72. This is a hard watch. Mr. Pigeon's constant akumatization / Gabby's pointless failed attempts at getting the miraculous through this guy were funny at first to show us how stupid Gabby is. But now it's getting ridiculous. Jokes over 72 times? Girl, what are you doing? At this point just jump off a cliff. Also kind of a controversial question now because I've been wanting to say this for so long but I know some of y'all will whack me. And no, it's not the pool trauma thing. It's how Marinette was such a bad friend in this episode. So hypocritical too, like how would you like it if Kagami dragged you back to Luca to get back together when you were ghosting him after the breakup? Do not piss me off, I swear. I get that it's just another character flaw but it made me mad nonetheless and the reason I can't watch this episode. Now for the question I wanted to ask y'all and I want genuine answers. Marinette in this episode and in any other episode where she does something weird or creepy when it comes to Adrian is supposed to be her trauma response according to the episode derision. Right? But then y'all say, oh it's just silly exaggerated cartoon gags, don't take it seriously. So what you're saying is, her trauma response is silly exaggerated cartoon gags that we're supposed to laugh at? I never understood this. Like how the hell am I supposed to react to this shit after the retcon that was derision? Am I supposed to laugh? Am I supposed to feel bad for her? Is it just goofy exaggerated cartoon gags or her trauma acting out? Because I've seen so many Marinette defense threads calling all these creepy ass moments her trauma response and others calling it silly cartoon gags. How the hell am I supposed to feel now? Is scared a valid answer? Because I'm kinda scared watching her act crazy in this episode and in some others. So that's my question. The only thing I like about this episode is the Kagaminette scene at the end. On my first watch I genuinely thought Kagami was going to confess her feelings to Marinette the way she phrased that one line OMG. Even though Kagami realistically should have ran off screaming help me, this crazy bitch is trying to get me back with my ex because she's still in love with him and doesn't want him single because it hurts more. Like imagine being Kagami in this situation, that's also what scares me. But I mean, Kagami does not know how friendships work, so. Shout out Tomoe for preparing your daughter for her teenage years. Now she thinks this is normal behavior. Also Marinette ruined an entire photo shoot. For what? Baccarix. Still don't know why this man didn't talk to his son for years. Marinette, get away from his musty ass OMG. You're telling me he disowned his son over fuck ass bread? I guess it's more xenophobia than anything because he literally had a meltdown over rice flour. So he's a racist freak to Sabine too is what I'm getting? Since he keeps talking about the old times and shit. Yet he's the type of hag that loves white supremacy, it's so obvious. And he does a 180 when he tries Marinette's bread? Masterclass writing. Boring, lazy, sloppy. And he's still an unlikable freak. Intuition. I appreciate that they wanted to show off what the snake miraculous can do and confirmed that Gabe has in fact been using it off screen, so we're only seeing one scenario in the episodes they looked back on here. But it's boring and repetitive as an episode, so it goes on this list. Even though I know that's the point. It didn't need to be boring. Maybe if Chat Noir and Gabriel were smarter it wouldn't be on this list. Couldn't they just add all these second chance scenes in their respective episodes and make them slightly longer instead of whatever this is? Also fuck you Gabriel for trying to kill this woman in space OMG. Don't let me catch your misogynist ass in the street. Penal team. No words for this one. I don't know why it exists, to be honest. For the football stands maybe? I doubt this would be intriguing to them. It could have at least been a good football episode if that's what they wanted. Who am I kidding, that wasn't the point of the episode. They just wanted to cram as many introductions of filler heroes as possible in the shortest amount of time with no build-up or anything right before the finale. Let me tell you, we did not need any of them. No, because I fell asleep in the first 5 minutes. This is the worst filler episode of all time. Glaciator 2. I loved the first Glaciator when it came out. Like, it's so nostalgic to me, but not only that, it's just decently written with an okay resolution. Despite Chat Noir still hitting on Ladybug after she told him he's not the one for, but that's besides the point. Anyways. Glaciator 2 however starts a recurring theme with the ice cream creep making sure he's involved and ruining every Marinette and Chat Noir outing. This is the second time we see him get mad at something he shouldn't be mad at all because it's not his fuck ass business. And the funny thing is they're not even dating here, unlike a similar episode I'll talk about later. Like, he just assumed they were dating and ruining his Lady Noir fantasies. Vomit. Chloe was right, this man needs an actual job. The resolution sucks because they didn't resolve shit. Sadly this isn't a 1 or 2 times thing, it happens again and again and nobody learns anything. So what was the point? I'll tell you. A series of fan service episodes for the Mary Chat stands since they are such a popular ship. I don't see them making episodes like this for Ladrine. For a reason. No fans to do the fan service for. Elation. A controversial one. I'm not a Mary Chat anti, I swear. I know I'll get whacked for this from Mary Chat stands, but hear me out. The reason I don't like it is the same as Glaciator 2. Same plot, same solution, same everything. Ice Cream Creep gets mad because Mary Chat are out together. Ice Cream Creep gets akumatized. Ice Cream Creep is decumatized. Ice Cream Creep half-assed I won't be mad at y'all dating anymore redemption. Rinse and repeat. This episode is very much fan service for the Mary Chat stans and for all the people who wanted to see what would happen if the love square reversed. But they clearly didn't care to flesh it out properly to make it work and not feel forced. That's why it only lasted one episode. Marinette didn't need to turn to Chat Noir or anybody at all when she said she'd focus more on her duty. Unhealthy coping mechanisms, I get it, she doesn't want to focus on herself and wants a distraction to obsess over and all that, but it's still 100% fan service and the reason it's in this video. Parenthesis here. Since I'm a known Philogamy stan, I know I might get comments like, but Philogamy fan service boo-hoo. Girl, you need to look up what fan service is. How the hell is Philogamy fan service? That was the rarest of the rare pairs and literally nobody was a fan of it before Emotion, let alone hoping to see it canon. How is it fan service when it never had fans to begin with? Don't piss me off. Some of you just take these terms and run with them because they sound cool and use them not knowing what they mean. It's embarrassing for you. Speaking of Philogamy and terms used wrong, know what Felix and Kagami have is not a trauma bond. It's shared trauma. Trauma bond is something completely different. Sorry for waffling, just had to get that out there. Bet I'll make a whole video on that topic. Bottom line, I don't hate this episode, but it's not good either if you look at the whole picture and don't separate it to fulfill your Mary Chat dreams. Like that's the only way you can like it. Puppeteer 2. Y'all already knew this was going to be on here. Another hard watch. And I'm not even talking about that scene. You know which one. Did we really need a second puppeteer? No. Girl, how the fuck can you not tell Adrian and a wax figure apart? That's all I'm going to say. Don't let me talk about this episode for more than 30 seconds for your own safety. Copycat. You will never catch me watching this episode. The history of this one is especially questionable since to this day the writers are refusing to tell us the age of the guy who had a crush on 13-year-old Ladybug. Is he 16 or 18? We'll never know. How did they think this was a good idea? The premise of the episode isn't even bad, it's just how the age thing makes it very uncomfortable. Somehow this was swept under the rug for so many years and nobody called them out for having a possibly 18-year openly simping for this child and never even address how weird that is. Like that straight up pedophilia. Why would you have 18 be a possible age for him? It doesn't help that he looks grown as hell too. I remember a few years ago everybody thought this guy was in his mid-20s. Even if he was 16 it's still weird, like what the hell would you and this kid who just entered middle school even talk about? Creepy ass, find someone your own age. But oh, he didn't know she was 13. How about I slice you in lots of pieces? Because Ladybug's age is most likely out there on the lady blog that this guy is 100% aware of. Don't ever come at me with this stupid ass argument. Heart Hunter. The akumatized villain design in this episode makes me throw up. I can't even look at it. Burn it with fire. Ladybug, maybe you should have sent this into the sun instead of the strike backs. It's more dangerous than the strike backs anyway. The only good thing about this episode at the Adrigaminette polycule scenes and that's it. Miracle Queen. Fuck the bourgeois family, y'all make the show borderline unwatchable sometimes. Like okay drama but y'all are overdoing it with this demonization of 14-year-olds. Chloe went from average spoiled petty mean girl to whatever the fuck this is. All because this ugly old man promised her power. Blame every single adult that contributed to this. Do y'all know what I felt watching Fu renounce his role as guardian and pass it to Marinette? Nothing but rage. You selfish ass cunt, OMG, please don't tell me Marinette will continue this tradition of passing the box to children. Like history repeats itself. Did this man learn nothing from being given the guardian role from such a young age? What kind of message is this? Thank you Master Fu for ruining not only Marinette's life but the entire show with your bullshit ass ex-guardians lose their memories rule. I bet you made that shit up. Now I have to deal with these emotional ass Swifties shoving the Marinette memory loss Adrian reading her diary to her end of the show series finale up our asses every week. Also this might just be me being biased because I hated this finale from the moment it aired. Like I hated it so much and I was in such deep denial I thought we were getting a part 3 because I hadn't been keeping up with the new episodes and I had just gotten back into watching Miraculous ijbol. And I wrote my own part 3 fanfiction and posted it on Wattpad and oh how I wish I could read it to y'all, it was so unhinged. But still not as bad at this. Or this finale. I remembering throwing up seeing Adrigami and Lucanette at the end there, OMG. Yes, I was that one Adrinette stan who don't play about Adrinette. Also Nathalie knows every bitch's identity after this episode and if I didn't rewatch it for this video I would have no idea. That's how much they used this information in the following seasons. With the exception of Alia because I remember that one season 4 episode where Gabby was targeting her because he knew she was Rena Rouge. Derision. I'm not one of those people who see this as a Marinette defense / justification of her creepy behavior episode. Just like emotion / representation that give Felix more character depth by showing more backstory. I brought that up because I've seen so many people get mad at the reactions to derision versus representation. Even though you can't really compare their trauma because that's like comparing an apple to a door. Like there's nothing to compare and this is not Trauma Olympics. And I'm aware that they most likely didn't plan either backstories from the start. I think it's more likely with Felix that they kinda had an idea for his backstory and motivation but made it really vague and didn't really write it out properly until later episodes. But definitely not Marinette's because holy shit she was introduced like 8 years ago. It's so obvious this wasn't planned before they started writing season 5 and just tried to connect Marinette not wanting her crush to be friends with her bully to this crazy incident taking place and altering her brain chemistry forever, being the reason for her creepy ass behavior. Like, the sniffing and stealing his phone just to delete a message when she could have just said it was for someone else or something. I don't see this as justification, hell no. But even as them poorly explaining why she acts that way with Adrian, it's bad. I just really wish someone in that studio had the bright idea of giving her this kind of backstory much sooner so it wouldn't feel as forced at least. Come on now. Kim of all people? Kim said he's afraid of spiders in season 2, start of the school year, but he scared Marinette with them at the end of the school year prior? Which was literally a few months ago in universe. At least try to make it less obvious you thought of this last minute. If you couldn't think of her crushing on anyone in that class so your only candidate was Kim, just make another dude who we haven't seen. Even if their intention was to justify her creepy behavior, I still don't see it that way. But mid-season 5 you're telling me why Marinette has been like this for the past 8 years? At this point, clap if you care. Recreation. My enemy. I never want to see you again. I've been watching this shit show for like 8 years and this is how Gabriel dies? Remembered as a hero after abusing his son and everyone close to him? Even everybody who's not close to him? After abusing his power and locking his son up in a mental hospital ass room, controlling even the last hair on his head to be how he wants it? We make a statue of him to honor him? And we don't even bring Emily back because we changed out mind? Oh, don't get me started on that. Marinette, fuck you for lying to the entire world like that. Where's Miss Justice Bug now? Are we doing moral gymnastics? Yes, this is a moral dilemma because Adrian is now an orphan and he's so young, but he needs to know the truth instead of idolizing his abuser thinking he did something great. That's like if Felix idolized his father because the bitch who quote-unquote defeated him lied that he defeated a supervillain with her. And where did Gabriel's body go, Miss Bitch? Did he disintegrate? Oh, but I thought only Monarch got cataclysmed. Actually, it's not Marinette's fault. What am I doing? The writers were smoking some crack in the studio because ain't no way they thought they ate here. Remember kids, Gabriel Agresti the abuser and terrorist is a hero and we should worship him. What a great daddy, sacrificed himself and got redeemed. I can't believe people actually said this. Literally the last thing he did before he died was command Marinette to not let Adrian know he was Monarch. And they forever ruined Marinette's character and Adrinette by making her act out of character and coming up with the craziest lie anyone could have come up with. But I mean, they believed Lila's Kingdom of Achu, of course they'd believe this. And I bet even Lila giggled when she heard this lie coming out of Ladybug's mouth, like she was literally a witness. Nothing about this episode makes sense. By honorable mention, Chameleon. This episode makes me so fucking mad, y'all don't get it. They didn't even try to make Lila menacing or a good liar, they just made everybody else stupid instead. Damn, y'all even dumbified Max? That's too much even for you. The only good liar in this show is Nathalie because she has to be lying to herself. Ain't no way her fine ass ever loved Gabriel. Enough to make her entire life revolve around him and even end it for him? Girl. Anyways, most Lila episodes make me mad and I would put Revelation here too because of the lunch scene, but as mad as that makes me, I don't think one scene makes the entire episode bad enough to deserve a spot in this video. Well, maybe 2 scenes. I still haven't forgiven y'all for making Alia ask Marinette why she called Lila stupid in front of all the witnesses who heard every word and said nothing.